What's up, team? Say hello to my hands. Hello. All right, we're going to go right to it. Quick quote from one of you guys in the comments that James Brown said, every instrument is a drum. Couldn't agree more. So this is all about rhythm. Look at this first chart. We got 3 of them. They're linked below in an ebook. We're going to keep it simple. This is like from that bigger lesson I did a couple days ago, which I'll link at the end. It's like a half hour. This is to get you in, get you out. So what you see is G bar to G triad. G, B, D. I put the triad in blue. Because it's Music Theory Monday on the top left, you see this is G, the 1 chord, Ionian, fancy name for major, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. I put G, B, D in blue just so you can be really aware of what that triad is. Okay, so bar to triad. Let's go to the next chart. Whoop, okay, and then we're gonna get to the actual rhythm part of this, okay? The lesson, all right? So now you have E minor bar to E minor triad, okay? And I really need you to see both my left fret hand and my strumming hand, so I'll try and keep that in there for you. So again, there we go, and then E, G, B, there's your triad. Now, the theory part of this is G's the 1 chord, E minor would be the 6th chord or the relative minor. They have all the same notes. Okay, stick with me, all right? Drop any comments, any questions. Let's go to the last chart. This is gonna be the fun one right here. What we're gonna do, you see in the top left, G, same thing, G1 Ionian major. It's just a G major scale, but instead of playing it like this on the E, A, D, we're gonna move it up because we're gonna do this really killer rhythmic exercise. I think it'll probably be the hardest part of this lesson, okay? So what we're going to do is we're gonna strike all the strings, but only get 1 note to sound out. There's a lot of power in that. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Let's start this. Drop any comments you have, any questions. If you are a beginner, intermediate, whatever level, if none of this is clicking, just take 1 piece. Just do what I'm gonna do here, okay? So here we have, again, bar chord to triad. So what we're gonna do rhythmically, no metronome, you're gonna build your internal rhythm. So bar, triad, okay? Now I'm playing with the pick. Later I'm gonna take the pick away. You're gonna try both, okay? Even if you're not a finger picker. Okay, really important. I took my guitar with the big baseball bat neck. This Les Paul Special has a really thick neck, so I want to show you I don't have huge hands, but it's a lot of technique. So when I go from bar to triad, okay, you can see I'm hitting all the strings pretty heavy. Every instrument is a drum, okay? You're a drummer. So bar chord, triad. Now, you see how my thumb comes over? Because great rhythm players, there's a few elements going on. Rhythm, right? There's a lot of muting and a lot of technique. The muting is taking place with this hand and this hand, depending on what they're doing, okay? So the muting in this case is you see my thumb comes over, and if I hit all the strings, I'm only getting that triad to sound out, okay? See, look, if I go... Okay, so but if you can just do this, get this motion going. You guys that have been on this channel, or if you're new, I do tons of videos on triads. They're like the bones of music, okay? You'll use them for every genre, okay? So let's get it going. Get that little drummer going. Okay, let's move on to the next chart. You get the idea. Now, the reason I did this is you gotta go from the 3rd fret, you're gonna go up to the 7th fret, and you're gonna grab the relative minor bar chord, E minor bar, and there's the triad again to stay consistent, E, G, B, okay? But now, here's one thing I need to point out. Remember, we talked about great rhythm players. There's a lot of control. There's a lot of little nuances that happen. So here's what I mean. When you play this bar, obviously I don't want that low E to sound out. I could, because it'd be part of the chord, but my thumb, my finger right here is lightly touching that. See how it's not really sounding out? Now, when I go to the triad, these triads, you gotta tighten up your strumming hand a little bit because you're on the G, B high E string, okay? So if you watch this, when I go, see how I'm kind of tight, my range of motion, I guess I should say, is tightening up when I go to the triad. So that's a great exercise. You might just work on E minor, bar to E minor triad. Even if you do that every day for 1 minute, it's gonna help you get better, okay? Okay, let's just get rid of that chart real fast. You have them linked in the ebook below. Go grab it. Let's go from, okay, this is simple. I told you I keep it real simple. Okay, G major bar to G triad, and then we'll go to E minor bar to E minor triad, and we'll kind of go back and forth, okay? So you have to keep that train going. Don't stop. So back to G bar, triad, E minor bar, triad. See that? Okay, maybe you do different kinds of rhythms, okay? So maybe go. Okay, so that's what great rhythm playing is too, just mixing it up. I'm just giving you a framework. Okay, here comes kind of the grand finale, the fun part. Okay, now again, this is gonna get a little tough. You can break this down into pieces. Again, you don't have to do everything I show you in here. So if you see, just see if you can get the G major scale and be aware of that. I always want to skip on the A on the way back. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, this is kind of where we set the bar high, what we're gonna go for. This is tough because we're gonna strike all the strings, but we only want one note to sound out. So it's gonna take a massive amount of muting technique from this hand. And all this hand is gonna do is it's lightly gonna touch and mute all of these other strings. So let's just take that G right in the low E. Okay, watch. Now, it's okay if some other strings ring in a little bit because you can make those overtones musical. And again, that's what good rhythm players do. Okay, so, but let me kind of show you the end goal. So we're gonna go all the way up, okay, where I hit all the strings and back down. So, okay, do you see that? So look, if that's too much, just do maybe G, A, B. See if you can get the first part of the G major scale like this. Okay? Or maybe just get G and A. Less is more. Because you gotta kind of get a feel for this. If you notice, I'm not playing single note riffs. There's a lot of power in this kind of playing. And when you start getting it and clicking, you're gonna love it. It works on, it sounds amazing on acoustic and band situation, just like this, okay? So we're also gonna take this and we're gonna do it with octaves, but a couple more little ideas, frameworks for you to try. Maybe you start up here on the G, on the A, and just work your way down. See that? G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G. See, but look. I'm not going like this. I'm not just picky. Watch my strumming hand. It's got a heavy attack. Okay, even if you just pick one spot, you can go anywhere in the scale. But again, because this is a Theory Monday day, I want you to be aware that you are playing a G major scale there, okay? So even if you just have that as a takeaway, you've got the rhythm practice and you've got that. Okay, here's another thing you can do too, and then I'll just be quiet and let you guys run with this, grab the charts. You can also run octaves, okay? So look at the shape of my left hand. You guys know octaves, right? G to G, A to A, B to B. And if you're not using octaves and you're playing, start. They sound amazing. So same concept. But now we got a couple fingers. I like using my first and fourth finger, my pointer and ring, pinky, okay? So watch this. Okay, now you don't have to do the rhythm that funky either. If you want, just do downstrokes. Do like eighth notes, like 1, 2, 3. Okay, so no charts. Let's just wrap it up. Get that G, just quick review, G bar to G triad. If you can just get that today, that's okay. Okay, and then E minor to E minor bar, and then run the single notes. Okay, and get that internal rhythm going. Okay, and if you want, just to wrap this up before you go, take your fingers and see if you can do that scale right. Okay, but here's what's really cool in the bar to the triad. Pick that low E with your thumb, pick and flick to the E minor, because that's a whole another ball game. If you watch my thumb, how it has to be really concise. You can start getting fancy with like little pull-ons. Okay, and then for these are like a bunch of picks. So okay, I gave you guys enough. So grab that ebook. You got 2 bar chords, okay, with triads inside, and they're in blue. And then you've got that G major scale all the way up on the E and A strings, and you can do really heavy hand, but just let me know how you do, and that's enough. But grab the book. You guys are amazing. This stuff is not easy. Guitar is hard. Every instrument is a drum, so think like a drummer. Get percussive. Get heavy-handed. If it's not happening, it's okay. Take one piece, break it down. Okay, drop Jellyfish or your favorite sea creature in the comments. Definitely tell us where you're watching from. Check out some of these videos sprinkled here. If you're new, we'd love to keep you. Hit that like button. Let's help people. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.